You know, you could at least look at me. Hey everyone, we are Micah Test Play, and welcome back to Pokemon FireRed version.
Last time we completed Cycling Road, which therefore completed the gauntlet between Fuchsia and what was the other city? Celadon. Okay, I was like, I know how to say this, but I can't remember. Like, I didn't want to get it wrong. And then so now we're gonna start the Safari Zone.
Yes, but before we do that, there is item storage limits in this game. So we're at like 24 items in our inventory right now. I'm just going to deposit a bunch of stuff. What's the max? 30. And there's many places where that's fine. It's fine to hit the item limit. It's just like, oh no. Yeah, Safari Zone is not one of those places. So I'm just depositing a bunch of items that I don't think we'll pick up more of. Yeah, I could sell some stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
I might do that later, because today's mission is to leave the Pokemon Center.
This is the whole mission. We did it!
That was it, we did it! And I just want to stop by Eric real quick, because he said he'd meet Sarah out here. Just for no reason. Not setting up a joke, because we're going to the Pokemon You Catch Safari game. Hello. Let's say yes. Because the Safari Zone has 4 zones in it. Each zone has different kinds of Pokemon, even some rare ones. Use the supplied Pokeball Safari Balls to catch them. Blah, blah, blah.
You can also throw bait or rocks besides the Safari Balls.
Yes.
If you throw bait, the Pokemon becomes less likely to flee, but harder to catch. And if you throw rocks at the Pokemon, it becomes more likely to flee, but easier to catch. When you run out of time or Safari Balls, the game is over for you.
All of those things are true. That's how the Safari Zone works. And costs $500 at an attempt.
Wow.
We're going to be going here more than once, so this is going to cost us precious money.
How many Safari Balls do you get?
30.
Okay. How much time do you get?
It's not time, it's steps. So you can see on the left-hand side how many balls you have left and how many steps you have left. You also can just retire at any time. If you want to, for some reason. But there's a lot here in the Safari Zone. Including hidden items and new Pokemon. Because there are 5 Pokemon who can be caught exclusively in the Safari Zone.
That's awesome.
Sure. Awesome. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that.
And the first one shows up right away. Rhyhorn here is a ground and rock type Pokemon, not rock ground, which was very confusing at various times because, like, what's the difference? But no, the ground type comes first. Let's start with the positives on Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn is a physical tank. He's got great physical stats, both offense and defense, and, you know, is good tank. He's also got decent enough HP to back up that, you know, that power. He's also got a really good move pool. It's, you know, he has pretty much the normal coverage options, but he learns some of them naturally, and the ones he gets through TMs, he's probably the best one to use them for, so, you know, you can always count on having good moves with the Rhyhorn line. He also has the ability Rockhead, and can actually use it. Rockhead prevents any recoil damage, and Rhyhorn can learn things like Double Edge that can really take advantage of that fact. So he's one of the few Rockhead users who actually gets a benefit from it. In addition, he's weirdly HM friendly. It's kind of a famous in-joke in the Pokemon community.
Rhyhorn, use Fly.
No, but Rhyhorn can use Surf. That's the thing that's so funny. He's quad weak to water, but swimming through water, no problem. The negatives, however, are there. Rhyhorn does have terrible special defense and speed. Kind of expected for, you know, a rock monster. Although he's based on a rhinoceros, who are not slow. But he's also, here it comes again, in the slow experience group. Which, considering that you can only get him at this point in the game where, you know, you can get him as soon as you're done with Snorlax. So it's not a huge loss. But, you know, he's not that high level. He'd need about 10 levels of grinding to match our team right now. And at the slow experience group, that really does set him back quite a bit. He's also kind of outclassed. Not really, because overall, I'd say Rhyhorn and Golem are pretty much the same. But since the Golem line, the Geodude line, is available so much earlier in the game and has better experience grouping and everything, it's kind of tough to justify using a Rhyhorn over him because you get the Geodude line for so much more of the game. However, his coverage options do include ground, rock, normal, fighting, and bug type moves, although he only learns this bug type move at level 66, so probably not ever going to hit it. But because he is such a solid Pokemon across the board, even his downsides don't hurt him that much, and he gets a very nice 7 out of 10 for in-game use. Now we're going to try to catch the Safari Zone Pokemon. I just threw a ball at this one. Sometimes
Throw a rock
it works.
at it.
Alright. Makes them more likely to run, but easier to catch.
Yes.
He ran away.
He ran away immediately. I thought you at least had a minute.
Yeah. If we are able to catch them, we will. If we're not, we won't. It's not a big deal. But in here. Here you are.
Hey, it's Sarah. Where did my boyfriend go?
He thought they meant outside. She thought he meant inside the Safari Zone.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah. There is another Pokemon who can be caught here in the first area who we haven't been able to see before. That's not him. We've seen Nidorans.
Yeah, we had a Nidoran.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Here's the secret to the Safari Zone. See how the step counter is at 518? If I move... Whoop. That should be at 516. Okay. If I move within the same tile, you can encounter wild Pokemon. Are you serious, Scyther? Are you... Scyther appears at 4% in the first area.
Wow.
Scyther and FireRed, Pinsir and Leaf Green. And that's why I covered them in the game corner, because I thought, I don't want to have to run into them here.
Immediately, Scyther.
Immediately runs into Scyther before the one that's at like a 20% encounter rate. Not catching all the extras, unless they're rare, apparently, because I threw a rock at the Scyther. But you'll notice that my step counter has not gone down, even though I'm moving and encountering wild Pokemon. It's easiest to do this on a wall where, you don't have to worry about, like, moving away, at least in one direction. If you can find a corner, that's the best one. There's no corners available to me right now. But, that's the secret. Hey, look, another Rhyhorn. I'll throw a ball at it.
And you can't do this in regular routes, it's only in here.
I mean, you can do this anytime you want. Oh. There's just not a step counter that... Hey, we caught a Rhyhorn. Cool.
Nice. If only you had caught that Scyther.
Yeah. So we caught one of the new Pokemon here. I wasn't sure if we would do that, but yeah. Alright, come on now. Oh no, I took a step by accident. Oh, no. It's you have to like barely flick the like direction you want to go to not move, but still step in that direction. Because I'm pretty sure if you just like hold, you don't run into anything.
That's
but if you're moving back and forth.
He looks like he's dancing.
Yes. Oh, come on!
You're in the Nidoran grass. You gotta move.
Apparently. Right.
Are there multiple sections to the Safari Zone? 4. Okay.
We're in the first one.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna cut ahead to when I find it. I didn't think we'd have to do this yet. Oh, hey, look, it was the very next encounter. Exeggcute here is the next new Pokemon found in the Safari Zone. He can be found very commonly, apparently, in the first area. Exeggcute is a grass and psychic type, which is a unique typing in Generation 1, and still has very rarely been seen outside of Legendaries since then. To start with, the Exeggcute line has great special attack and good attack, which means that even though both of their stats are special, they can actually use some physical moves as well, if, you want to have that on them. In addition, since, that psychic typing is on there, psychic power is absolutely part of their positives. They get great, use out of psychic type moves. He's also an annoyer. As many grass-type Pokemon are, he can learn things like the powders and, put stuff to sleep or can confuse them. I don't know. He can be an annoyer. He's also has good defensive stats. He's got very high, well, not very high, but he has good defenses and good HP overall, which, is good. It's just a good thing to have. However, he does have some negatives. He is, yet again, for some reason, in the slow experience group, which, just like with Rhyhorn, does hold him back a bit. And just coming so late and being in the slow experience group, again, not really having a reason to. Many of the Pokemon that we've been finding here recently have not been, worthwhile of the slow experience group, and yet have been stuck there anyway. He also has a few move pool issues. Most of his moves aren't really geared towards doing damage, even though he's clearly meant to be an attacker with his high special attack stat. He does need to learn Psychic through the TM, although he can learn Confusion naturally, so it's not as big a deal as it is with certain other Psychic types. Also, although he has good defenses, he has a ton of weaknesses. The Psychic type doesn't cover any of the Grass type's weaknesses, and Grass type doesn't cover any of the Psychic type's weaknesses either, which means that he's got weaknesses out the wazoo, including a quad weakness to Bug. Not really all that relevant in this game where there aren't a lot of Bug moves, but still, he's got a lot of weaknesses, so it does hold him back quite a bit. His coverage options include Psychic, Status, Grass, Normal, and Poison moves in the post-game, because Sludge Bomb being in the post-game really hurts so many Pokemon. But overall, his unique typing, although it does hurt him defensively, does help him offensively, so, he gets a solid 7 out of 10 for in-game use.
I forgot he was a Pokemon.
How could you ever forget the eggs?
I forgot about Exeggcute completely.
Yeah.
Didn't even remember him a little bit, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, it all came flooding back after, but
Oh, come on! I threw the bait so you wouldn't run away.
Oh, no.
Whatever. But that's all the new ones here, and I'm still at 512 steps.
That's good.
Which is good.
Oh, what a waste. You have to use steps to get to the sections?
Yes.
Silly.
Because now we're in... This is Area 1?
Weird.
I would have thought of this as Area 2, but go on.
Moving along.
More Nidorinos.
It's just little babies in the grass.
Yeah.
I don't know. The trees look like frosting a little bit. Hey, leaf stone.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good items here.
That's good.
I'm not running to conserve steps.
You take more steps when you run?
No, I'm worried I'm gonna run past where I'm trying to go.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the concern here. Sunny Day TM.
Wow.
This is a corner. Will there be another corner?
Use it.
I'll use it.
It's not like you're using
here,
steps.
I'm not worried about using the steps. Because, I'm at 417, and I'm still at 417. So as long as I just keep it back and forth between... Okay, if all Pokemon could appear, that'd be nice.
There are no Pokemon in this grass.
Come on. Come on.
That's hilarious.
Why is nothing showing up? Take one step. Yeah, here you go.
Exeggcute.
Another Exeggcute. I'll throw a ball at it, whatever. Running out of Safari Balls is not going to be an issue.
No?
No. Alright, fine. I'll throw a rock at one of the eggs.
Oh no, you broke one.
I ran. Alright, and we will cut ahead until we encounter, because there is another Pokemon who is the first of the 4% encounters that we have to encounter here in the Safari Zone.
Exactly 1 hour later.
Yeah, it's not showing up. Kangaskhan can apparently be found here in the eastern side of the Safari Zone. Kangaskhan is a pure normal type Pokemon, and a very good one overall. The first positive is its stats, just stats in general. Everything but special attack is a good stat, so you can actually depend on Kangaskhan to do a lot of things for you. I mean, good attack, good speed, good defenses across the board. that's a very big positive overall. Any Pokemon that's just good statistically is going to be a good Pokemon, especially since Kangaskhan backs that up by having an amazing move pool. As a normal type Pokemon, a lot of the times it's common for a normal type to have a good move pool, but Kangaskhan certainly has one and has the variety and the power to back it up, including its own move and Dizzy Punch, which is a normal type move with 70 base power that causes confusion. I'll take it. It's also HM friendly, which, not extremely relevant to a Pokemon who's so good otherwise, but still a noticeable positive. Kangaskhan is also reliable. We've seen this a few times where, a lot of the starters got this, or the Niddos, but you can pretty much put Kangaskhan into most fights, and she'll be able to pull out the winner. The negatives, however...
she never shows up.
Yeah, rarity. It was before we spent an hour looking for a 4% encounter where 3 1% encounters showed up at that time. But anyway, Kangaskhan is very rare, appearing only in the Safari Zone at 4% here and 1% in a different zone. And then you have to catch it without a reliable method of catching. You're basically just throwing ball and hoping, unless you're throwing rock and hoping it doesn't run. Outside of that, the only other downside is that it's slightly outclassed by Snorlax, but that wouldn't really be a big enough negative. But the rarity actually does bring it down. Her coverage options do include normal, ghost, ground, rock, fighting, and aerial ace type moves. So a lot of coverage options there. Because of how good Kangaskhan is, she really could qualify for that 10 out of 10 rating, but her rarity does bring her down to a 9 out of 10 for in-game use. And if she shows up while we're now leaving, we've been here a literal hour, like trading back and forth on who was encountering things. We saw 3 Scythers.
I wasted many steps.
Yeah, many steps were lost in the attempt.
Yes. Accidentally, but...
Yeah.
It was a good hour. We sang songs and didn't throw the controller at all. We were very good about that.
We were very good about that. Now we're at another rest area. With hello. It's bushed from the effort. Ha! We're bushed. This guy caught a Chansey. He's tired from all the fun.
How can he be tired from fun?
I don't know, actually. But yeah. That was a long out. Oh, there is another corner we could... Oh, no, there's not a corner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed in that grass because corner, but I did meander out into other grasses, and I know it makes 0 difference no matter what grass you're in, as long as you're in the area. We were in the right area.
Yeah, but 35 minutes in, you just start losing it.
I was asking Mike, I was like, what was the longest time you've ever spent looking for a Pokemon? He goes, this.
This. It was this.
It was this.
And you know what? We've reached the next area of the Safari Zone, and we'll pick it up next time. Yeah.
We both looked at each other. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time for more Pokemon Fire Red version.